My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Shadows over Loathing, where here in the Molros house, I have rubbed my body up against every single item until I found one that has a unique and new interaction. This is the bookcase next to the warp portal that leads into the wormhole that the meteorite is in. Having passed through the wormhole besides this bookcase, you realize it leads to the room with the meteorite in it. I push it inside. Whoa, that's heavy! What are these family reading, bricks? No, they're reading 40 different copies of Marcus Aurelius. I managed to push it inside and follow it with my body. All the way into the Moros Place bedroom. Ah! Hello. At rest, finally. I take the meteorite. You gingerly pick up the piece of space debris and keep it carefully in the darkest part of your inventory. Offhand item, this little chunk of space rock brims with paranormal potential, opens a wormhole above an enemy and under an anvil somewhere, dealing twice your mysticality and physical damage once per fight. I'm gonna take the spooky box as well. Excuse me? Huh? It says replace the meteorite? What? This is where you found the meteorite. A flag to mark the spot would be customary, if colonialist. I mean, I don't really... Okay, I put it down and then I immediately pick it back up. The Molros Place tiny hallway, which gets us through some of these rooms. The toilet's so broken that it's being disconnected from the plumbing. I think we're done here. Was there something else that was being blocked by a portal? Because it does seem like all the portals are done now. Wait, hang on, note the oddity. Where's the oddity? That's strange. These rooms didn't adjoin before. I note the oddity. Certainly it is a strange choice. Moros tiny place hallway leads us back to the bathroom. But the bathroom's on the second floor, which is actually above where the other one is. What's going on here? There's the attic that I can't or could not previously have made it to the far left side of. Doesn't look like there's any particular reason that I would need to, though. It's unconscionable to me that any Molros should call a glorious house his home. Quite an unusual bed frame arrangement. We do have the ability now to go directly into the kitchen. Ah, there's little money stuck to the bottom of the pots. I take it. I get myself some 7 meat. Definitely what we were looking for here. Absolute payoff. Huh. Turns out this supply closet that has been almost completely stripped of supplies. Almost completely? You grab the last few items, a mercury eye drop and rhino balm. So using this tiny hallway, I would be able to make my way to the floor below somehow. As well as the primary bedroom, which we'd searched. We'd read all of those cards. There's the letter to the editor. Yeah, I think we've seen all of these places now. Except I can't get downstairs, really, is what I'm currently running into. Well, I guess I can go to the staircase themselves. Well, or I could just... Of course, that doesn't actually lead the way that I thought it did. Oops. Hang on. This hasn't now become a puzzle to figure out my way out, has it? Because I can go down to the first floor in typical fashion. Actually, considering now that we've done this, what does this room lead to? Tiny hallway, a new room, and what a strange choice to put this bathroom on a ground floor. Shouldn't it be next to the primary bedroom? Strange indeed. That said, this is the other one that I've already had access to. I would like to see what the other door there is accessing, but don't currently have a way to devise that. I think we're all good though. I've got the meteorite. Hey, buddy. Hello again. I hope you've surveyed reason and are here to accept my offer. I found your problem. In seminary, we don't believe in problems, only opportunities, but go on. I have the meteorite. The wormholes are gone.
Joyous news! Now the real work can begin. If you can spare the time, I'll be back in a mere moment with my valuation.
I can already tell that the layout of the house is very bad.
He chuckles. Really? Do you think so? Let me be the judge of that. I think I know a little something about surveying.
No problem. I'll wait. What? Still. The sound of surveying filled the air. And then?
My goodness. I was right about this being a horror house, but not in the way that I'd first thought. A kitchen on the upper floor, with a dining room downstairs, sandwiched between a bathroom and a bedroom. The living room adjacent to only the bedroom primary, and both connected by a narrow hallway that requires you to pass through a bathroom. Civilian, this is the aesthetic of most extreme disorder. The house is rotten at its core. I would have valued it at 2,000 meat, but the telephone is inoperable, so let's knock that down to 1990. That means 199 meat for you, as per our deal.
You know, the layout is actually better with the wormholes.
How so?
All the bathrooms are upstairs, as you'd expect.
Look, you're right. I remember that from my initial inspection. With a sensible layout, that house could easily go for 5,000 meat. I think buyers will put up nauseating holes in the fabric of reality, but not having to walk through a bathroom to their dining room.
This house could sell for 5,500 meat.
Let's say 570.
Sorry.
5,700.
Okay.
Good. Of course, I need the meteorite to restore the house's order.
Oskaloosa needs the meteorite. I think Oskaloosa said she doesn't need the whole meteorite as your vote. I'm gonna need to think about it. I'm gonna go and give part of this to Oskaloosa and see how much I have left over after that. On the road, you spot a farmer, slumped in a wooden chair. He rocks back and forth on his front porch, although there's no house behind him.
You looking for that old ham mill? It's that way, but it ain't long for some time, buddy.
Where's the rest of your house, old man?
First of all, I'm not old. I'm 13. Younger than you, I reckon. And as for the house, bank took it. Tough times all over.
I'm sorry to hear that. He nods, and just as he's about to say something else, he and his front porch are whisked away in a passing bank van. It is tough times all over indeed. I go to Old Ham Mill now. A vast fallow field. The wind blows, yet the mill still stands. I close it. I close the shadow pocket with my shadow pliers. Ask not for whom the windmill spins, as it spins for no one. I'm gonna paint this fence for Will Hunter's sake. Depict it. You paint it. Old Ham Mill, ground floor. The windmill is set up to make flour, but it hasn't done so in quite some time. Lumps of the last batch lie in the wooden basin, gathering dust and a real stink. I take a closer look. However long the ground flour has been sitting there, it's too long. It smells rancid and appears to have become a home for bugs. I sniff the flour. Ugh, flour's fragrance has two notes, bad and worse. But you've let it in, and once the dank and fetid odor is at home in your nose, it commences to make all sorts of trouble. You'll need a good nasal wash to rid yourself of this olfactory vampire. I check out the bugs. A baker's dozen of long-snouted bugs burrow busily in and out of the flour. They seem hard at work. How far gone this flour must be for it not to have only attracted bugs, but for those bugs to have already given themselves a project. I eat the flour. It's not good flour. Even if it was, you shouldn't really eat flour on its own. I eat the flour. You tear into the old flour with your teeth. It explodes in your mouth, and when you do something hard and cold... Sorry, it explodes in your mouth. And when you do, something hard and cold slides down your throat. What? Hard to say what it was. Maybe not something you want in your stomach, but it doesn't matter now. It's in there. Against the grain, -1 to maximum AP. You've got a tummy full of bad flour, remember. Always eat with the grain, not against it. I leave the flour alone now. At some point, that effect will resolve itself. And maybe the hard and cold metal thing was a key. Apparently, maybe it's a key, and we'll pass the key. According to the partially destroyed calendar, today is Burns Night, an annual celebration of the life and works of 18th century poet Robbie Burns. I examined. No, on close reading, it's actually just the calendar itself is burned. Steady winds sweep through the empty mill, and its old rotten wooden boards bend and bow in reply. What's wrong with this windmill, then, if there's enough wind around to make it spin? Something must be the matter here. But what? It's too old? Some sort of blade issue. Gunked up main shaft? No doubt. The windmill must have bad bones. It's probably a solar problem. I'm an astronomy minor. Or, I have no idea, I just got here. This is too much pressure. Fair enough. Do you want to take a minute to regroup outside? No, I'm fine. Oldham Mill's grinding floor. Someone kicked the safe over and bashed the lock with a hammer. It's not a pretty sight, but safes knew the risks when they took the job. Specks of flour float through the air and dust the cracks of the safe like snowfall. As a chemicals major, you of course know that particles of flour suspended in an enclosed space will explode if ignited. And what space is more enclosed than a safe? Yeah, of course I know that. I was paying attention in class. The most important thing is that, the most important thing you can do for yourself in life is to get a college education, because that's where you'll find out that particles of flour suspended in an enclosed space will explode if ignited. I could crack the safe, I could kick the safe, say the magic word, set it on fire, pry it open. I'm gonna crack the safe. Ironically, the safe cannot be cracked because its lock has already been literally cracked into pieces with a hammer. That's not what irony means. Let's move on. I'm gonna say the magic word. Which one? Abracadabra or beans? Beans, obviously. Beans? Unfortunately, beans didn't appear to work. I'll try and pry it open. The crowbar's just too thick for you to get any purchase on it. All that flour's really gunking up the cracks. I'm gonna kick the safe. Ah, nuts. And hurt my leg. There's a lot of reading material in here. Before I blow this area up, of course, I should try and get books. The Years of Hay and Mourning by Marnie Mornay. A People's History of Skeleton Roads by Boxer Hamlin. Eyebrow text. A Union Daughter by Sidney Clout. What Did the Banker Say by Halty Hall. Inventing the Horn by Boxer Hamlin. And whoops! A pamphlet slipped out from between the books. You got an item, the NFSC Directive 17.2. Looks like a proclamation from something called the National Flour Standards Committee. The Borders of Bragtown by Evelyn Wayncroft Webster, Paradise Corn by Carrington Whip, Anna and the Two Autumns, and there's nothing else in there. Neat! Alright, let's have a wee look at that directive. National Flour Standards Committee Directive 17.2, Stages of Flour Necrosis. Bakers. Nothing in this world is certain except for taxes and flour death. If flour's gone bad, just a quick snip will tell the tale. 6 months bad, a fusty smell. 12 months bad, a musty smell. 24 months bad, a very fusty and musty smell. 36 months bad, boom, fetid, that is what we had. So this is 3 years old. Fetid smell. 48 months bad, a gamey smell. 49 months bad and older, absolute liquefaction. Always remember, better smelled than not smelled. NFSC, protecting our flour. I'm glad that it was correct to have smelled. I feel better about myself then. Way up in the windmill, the wooden walls keep bowing and the wooden floors keep groaning. And there's something strange. The sounds, they're too regular, too precise. There's a pattern, you notice, and it feels too deliberate to have occurred by chance. I tune in with my 8 mysticality. The peculiar sweep of the wind against the wood, the sound it makes, those aren't noises. They're words. Whoa. Oh, whoa. Oh, why? Unmistakably a voice, but hollow and shaken.
Who? How are you?
Oh, frankly terrible.
What are you?
Oh, good peddler, I am the living spirit of this old ham mill, though you'd surely be forgiven for thinking it had no life left.
Why did you call me a peddler?
Oh, 'tis mainly peddlers who frequent this mill, trading for grains and other stuffs, but pardon my assumption, not all those who wander through the Ham Hill are peddlers.
You are the windmill?
Oh, yes, and does that shock your sensibilities? Does it shock you very much?
No, I've just never met a windmill before.
Oh, and I wonder if you had, or merely trod on the embers of Alexandria after Caesar.
What's wrong with you?
Oh, I cannot bear to spin any longer. It has become unbearable to me.
I'm sorry to hear that.
I have been horribly distraught from the moment I read the bad news.
What news?
Sirrah, I refer to the Pulitzer Board's cynical capitulation to the award of prize for drama to Sidney Glout over the great Holy Howl. This thoughtless piggery agitated me so thoroughly I could not even read on to learn if that smut merchant Marty Mornay won for poetry.
Anything I can do?
I don't want to dismiss him with who cares or you can read.
Nay, when the arts are made a joke, so too is life and living.
Why are you so upset about the Pulitzers?
Oh, but a world in which the arts are poorly valued is a bare desert sans life.
I meant more like, why does a windmill care about Pulitzers?
Surely someone must. 'Tis why when Troy fell to the barbarians, 'tis not too little appreciation of the arts. And why do you think pious Aeneas heeded that lesson when founding greatest Rome?
Yes?
No, Rome fell also. We shall soon follow, now that the Pulitzers have in the depths of their perversion recognized the monstrous Sidney Glout for drama.
Were you built out of an old library or something like that?
Oh, negative inference.
The walls rattle at your words.
What?
Talk of chopped and splintered wood, of axes. How am I to take to these violent suggestions if not as a threat?
I'm only trying to understand why you're so interested in literature.
Oh, well, I would beg you choose your words more carefully in the future. But if you are so curious, the answer to your bull in a china shop of a question is yes.
Yes, you used to be a library?
Oh, yes.
And that's why you're so into literature.
Yes, you have the right of it.
Okay, great, thanks.
Prego.
I have to go.
You catch a whisper on the wind of an old mill still grousing about the Pulitzers. I catch it. Yeah, unfortunately, it will no longer continue talking to me. It's just telling me, oh, whoa. Okay, so. We knew what the horses wanted by Hardy Howell. Hardy Howell! If he'd won that Pulitzer, maybe this windmill would still be spinning. I see. I gotta do some time travel and I gotta change it. Glout, the author who won the Pulitzer for drama, and in doing so sent this windmill into a tailspin where it no longer spins. Mornay, didn't the windmill call her a smut merchant? What would have happened if she'd won the Pulitzer? Interesting. Might be spill making grain or ham or whatever it did. Maybe. Interesting. We need to try and change the timeline. I just don't know how I'm gonna get access to that here. Set it on fire with a match. It'll explode. Yeah. Cool, didn't make a huge explosion, thankfully. Nice, clean explosion. Honestly, university education is so important. I search it and I find the windmill keeper's boots, rather, which I'll start wearing at the start of the next episode. A windmill safety inspector's report kept in a safe for extra safety, some meat, and strangely, a pair of shoes. The inspection report is a National Flour Standards Committee report into the old ham mill dated 1923. That's 5 years ago, so 2 years before it stopped working. I read the inspection report. The National Flour Standard Committee's report is as dry as flour and as technical as cyber flour, but one paragraph catches your eye for proliferation of exclamation marks. All sorts of problems. For one thing, it is illegal to make ham at a mill. Stick to flour, gents! In addition, these jokers are using a clock as a calendar and a calendar as a clock. Their windmills all mixed up. Okay. Interesting. So, the clock is the calendar is the clock, right? So 607, 1923. I think what we've ultimately been given there is a date that we'll have the ability to search up. I think that's what we've gotten. Right, so I need to take that all the way back down. Take a close look at the flour. It smells fetid, so 3 years old. And just the calendar itself is burned, partially destroyed. Yeah, sure. So, perhaps in solidarity with the windmill stands at 1607. Okay, or 607 rather. But it would be, yeah, the 6th of the, or the 7th of the 6th. Month, day, year, how dare you. But also, it's that, and then also related to, wait, I guess I'm looking at the inspection report. 1923, right? So then 2 years of milling flour after that, instead of ham. And then, so it's 1925, the 6th of the 7th, or the 7th of the 6th. That's what I'm looking for, I guess. That's it, that's elsewhere. Here's the old ham mill, so I'm gonna make my way all the way back to actually hand in the Molros Meteor. A kindly-faced old man greets you from his rocking chair in the front of an old farmhouse.
Howdy there, friend. Name's Chester. Don't see many new faces in these parts.
Chester? Oh, hey, my future... someone said I should talk to you.
A future someone, eh? Talk to me about what?
This ring.
I show him the ring.
Oh, dearie dear. You're wearing the Mobius ring. So you've used its power, have you? Found out about its curse?
Well, I found out that I can't take it off. Is that a problem?
It is for you, right?
It occurs to me that I didn't actually introduce myself yet.
Huh. I said I don't see many new faces in these parts. Your face? I've seen quite a few times.
Ah, jeez.
The curse of that ring is, once you use its power, you're trapped in its loop. You gotta follow the loop. You can't get rid of it till the loop's complete.
But a future me gave it to me. So they must have found a way to break the curse and take it off, right?
Nope. What they did was get themselves another ring, a future copy of it, to give to you.
That jerk!
No, don't be mad at yourself. Didn't have a choice. It's part of the loop.
I've been looping since before I got the ring, though.
Yeah, that's the before shocks. But what caused the whole thing was you putting that ring on and using its power. You could have avoided it all by not using the ring, but now it's too late, I'm afraid.
Wait. But the future me had already used it. How could I not have?
Because the Mobius ring is a loop, you see. And what makes a loop is that it's got a hole. That ring's loophole is that you don't have to use it. But once you do, you're trapped.
Ah, nuts.
Don't worry, kiddo. All you gotta do, all you can do and are going to do, is get another one and give it to your younger self. And hopefully, that one will listen when you tell them not to use it.
Alright, so where do we go next?
Delphine Farm.
And where's that?
Right here.
He gestures at the house right behind him.
Oh. Okay.
Hey, buddy. Jess is watching us bemusedly. I will talk to him.
Always a pleasure, Ryan. Anything you want to ask me, go ahead.
Who are you?
Oh, I'm just an old man with an unusually specific people-watching hobby.
Huh.
Can you help me out with this?
Sorry, but I've never actually been inside there. And none of you ever seemed interested in talking about it all that much after you'd finished.
But I do finish?
Oh yeah, eventually.
That wasn't as confidence boosting as I'd have liked.
Sorry.
What is this place?
Delphine Farm. That's all I know, I'm afraid. The place was already abandoned when I got here. Well, abandoned except for you.
How long ago was that?
I don't have any way of knowing.
Well, how many times have you met me?
I lost count.
Sheesh, Chester.
Sorry, Ryan. I'd like to help you more, honest, but this whole situation is nearly as much of a mystery to me as it is to you.
Shucks. This sucks, Chester.
Sorry, Ryan. If it was fun, it wouldn't be a curse, I suppose. Feel free to take a break and go do something else if you're feeling tired. You'll be back. Guess I can't think of anything.
I guess I can't think of anything to ask you. See you around.
Around and around.
Just as you step up to the door, it opens and a future you steps out. They're noticeably older than you, and one of their hands is being replaced by a steel hook. Oh, whoops. Excuse me. Wait. What happened to your hand? What happens to my hand? This? Don't worry about it. It doesn't happen for like 10 more years. What's going on in there? What am I supposed to do? They look at you for a moment, thinking. Okay. I do remember this. I guess I give you the rundown. Oh, thank God. Don't get exhausted. Don't get too enthused. I don't go into much detail. It goes like this. The ring is in the house, and there's about a dozen things you have to do in order to get it. But you have to do them in a very specific order. And if you mess it up, the part of the loop resets and you have to start over. How will I know the order? Part logic, part trial and error. There are some future yous in there who can give you hints, but talking to them will only make things more complicated because you'll be adding that interaction to the loop, so you'll have to pass those hints on to younger yous later. Aw, swell. Yeah, I hope you've got a pen. Have fun! I didn't. They walk past you, enter the house. I do have a pen! I'm ready! I'm all well equipped for this. And, you know what? I'm coming back to this, actually. I'm gonna go and hand in my mission at the feed store, because I think it would be good to start an episode with that puzzle rather than... It says that it's gonna be hard. I'm giving myself a little bit of time to figure it out.
One moment, if you please.
What's up, Professor?
Might there be a privy about, do you think?
Oh, sure. One of those abandoned farms has gotta have an outhouse. You know, I haven't actually gone in 5 days.
My goodness! Not even a numeral one.
I might need to go see a doctor. I find an outhouse. It doesn't take too long to find an outhouse. You wait outside while Professor Adams does his business, wondering what's up with your guts. Eventually, Adams comes out, chuckling to himself.
I must remember that one. Your modern poetry is very clever.
Professor Adams' moxie increases by 1. Alright. Oskaloosa, I got a Molros meteorite for you. I got the meteorite. Oskaloosa's whistles. Humbling, ain't it? To hold the soil of heaven in your hand? Now, you heard me say I wasn't a space hog. I stick by that. Little chunk's all I need. Oskaloosa tears a chunk off the meteorite with her teeth and hands it back to you. Can you teach me how to do that? She spits out a tooth. Never mind. You got an item, Oskaloosa's puzzle box. Oskaloosa gave you this complicated task to perform as a reward for performing a complicated task for her. You increase your mysticality by your muscle once per fight with the puzzle box. Solve that, by the way. I reckon there is not a jail on earth that can hold me. Do yourself a favor, figure out how it works. My way saying thanks. I guess you're welcome. I mean, I don't really want to click it. It doesn't look extremely dissimilar to the SIT puzzle ring, which I'm still trying to figure out what it do. Why is that important for me to have and hold? Any luck with the fertilizer? No, not yet.
Well, if it ain't my fellow Pilgrim of the Stars, hey there.
Think you can let me in the back room?
For you? I reckon I could.
Oskaloosa raps a jaunty little tune on the door and you hear the bar slide back.
See you around, Oskaloosa.
You enter a darkened room. A man is standing behind a desk, poring over a messy array of books and maps. He looks up and glares at you as you enter.
Okay, who the devil are you? I'm Ryan who? Okay, but implied by the second half of that question was, what the hell are you doing in my office?
I don't actually know,
but the people outside let me in. Huh. Well, if they vetted you, you gotta be okay. My name's Jasper. You looking on signing on help with our mission?
What mission's that?
We're blowing up the Hellstrom's oil refinery, that's what. Oh, wow!
A bench covered with dangerous-looking hardware seems that Jasper isn't screwing around. I could make some stuff. But I could also check the AARP. Aged Americans, retirement and pensions, or something like that, right? Ask about it.
Hey, Jasper, what does AARP stand for? Association of Anarchists, Rebels, and Pirates. Neat.
It's a map of Grey County with a bunch of various locations marked in different ways. Okay, so the feed store is the Star. The crossed out one is one of the Bud Burger barns that are being blown up. You've marked the Drexelstead and looks like Ford compound, as well as the Gilmore and Mulross house and the McMillican Cuddy farm. Jasper has quite the collection of subversive literature here. I peruse it. You look through the titles until you find an appropriate sort of anarchy for your abilities. You figure he'd want you to steal it. You got an item, Destroying Authority, with music. A banned book for subversive musicians. Your combat skill is drum roll. Your next Moxie attack deals double damage. I read it. You learn a drum riff that's too fast for some dumb conformist army to comfortably march to. There are a bunch of dexterity exercises in the back of the book, but they look like a lot of work. Can I go through them? If you do, drum roll will also increase your Moxie by 3. I cannot do that right now, but I will do that as soon as I have the opportunity. This must be Jasper's cat.
What's your cat's name? Abby. Why'd you name her twice? Because I don't do what the society tells me to. Okay, gotcha. What's our mission status, Jasper? Lola says she's ready to deal with the guard out front. Oskaloosa's confident she can get us into the inner sanctum. Including me, that's only 3 of the 4 of us ready to go. 3 of the 7 of us ready to go. I don't like our chances.
Anything else I can help do to prepare?
Yeah, go talk with the others. They'll tell you what they need. They'll probably be cagey about why. They spite you being on the team now, rather. Don't push them on it. We take OPSEC real serious around here. And talking about the mission in public is strictly off limits. Right, got it.
I'm gonna go and try and help the others with all of their various kinds of missions. I think I have... I have the... I've already given the milk. I haven't got the paper cut yet. I thought, though, I had another one of these missions complete already. Riled up to hand in. Evidently not. Unless it's this guy's mission. It was! There we go, the counterclockwise mainspring that I got from the Gilmore house with all the dolls in.
Well, I'll be. Thank you kindly.
No problem.
I ask about Hellstrom.
Who's that Hellstrom guy you mentioned?
That fat cat oil baron's been going around buying up every patch of dirt big enough to drill a hole into. I don't want to talk about him, he'll get his soon enough.
What does that mean?
Don't mean nothing, only an old man dogging old man crap.
I met that Gilmore guy.
Oh, how's he doing?
He was hiding in a bomb shelter because he thought his dolls were trying to kill him.
That's a shame. Figures though. Don't ever put a face on a machine. People get confused too easy. Ever just giving one a name is a bad idea.
I guess so. Well, seeing you.
In fact, I'm gonna make my way back to the Delphine house at this point. A wind blows an old sheet of paper into your face with a... That's not the right sound. Plap. Kind of nostalgic. You peel it off and read it. Izzy,
I stashed the meat from the bank job under the old burnt tree. Meet me there on Tuesday to divvy it up. Don't tell Marv. I want to cut that dumb palooka out of the deal.
You look around and discover that you're standing next to an old lightning-blasted oak tree with a hole dug into it. 3 skeletons are lying around the hole with rusted pistols still clenched in their hands. In the hole, you find a big burlap sack with the symbol for meat stenciled on the side. I get 25 meat for it. And while we stand out front of the Mobius Delphine farmhouse here, I am going to say that my name has been Rhapsody, the name of the game. It's been Shadows Over Loathing. Top left is a series playlist for all my content in the game past, present, future, YouTube recommendation down below, streaming past the names of the people so generously supporting Republic on patreon.com/Rhapsody at about the thank taters for thanks since episode 2 3D. Hopefully you all have been enjoying yourselves and hopefully we'll see you all tomorrow.